Yes, people, bless up on yourself, bless up on yourself. Thanks for passing through again, man. It's happy Friday to everybody. Bless up to everybody watching this video. It's a morning insider. We're here to talk about reggae boy football. Also, look, Demarai Gray is trying so hard to take himself out of that bad rut of form that he's in at this moment. He's doing everything to get himself in that good feeling again. But he's playing good, but until the goals start to come in as a winger, then people will start to talk about it. But he's doing everything on the football field. And guess what? Sule Makala. I can't hear good. Sule Makala is in the Unity Cup squad. And also I'm going to talk about the strikers. Yes, I want to touch on more on that Burton Albion striker. Yeah, man, I want to touch on that a little bit more. But Sule who? Sule Makala! I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say, but it's a special day in Jamaica. Yes, it's a special day in Jamaica. It is Labor Day. And also it is the JPL Super Final, the trilogy. 3 times in a row, these two teams go into the final. I'm going to preview that a little bit, drop my opinion as well on that. But Sule who? The man named Sule Makala got added to the squad. So me I say, I'm rewind it and come again. Sule who? People, I can't believe it, but I will come right back into the video right after this. Look, the strikers, man, the strikers, we have Warner Brown, we have Travanis, we have Mikel Antonio, we have Boza, we have Burrell, we have Ease, we have couple of strikers. But I'm glad, this young man, Burrell, playing for Burton and Albion, 11 goals so far, 11 goals of the season, hit, double digits goal in League One football, and I want to say this, I'm happy that this youth, is what, 25 for me, right? 25, 26. I don't remember his age, but he's somewhere right there. You guys will know because I love that reggaeboyz fans do their research and players that coming in to the national team. But what I'm trying to say is that this player, I'm loving the fact that he came in and he actually can give our striker pool, our striker pool a little bit of challenge. Keep them on them toe that low, that look, someone is there, and he giving that impression like he is that pressing striker, someone that can bring the energy, someone that can run behind, someone that is not lazy, stuck it up for like the shamanic. So like even if you're not scoring goals, you're doing everything around the pitch. You're pressing, you're tackling, you're fighting, you're doing everything for that team. If you're not getting the ball in the back of it, and I'm going to play a clip soon, and I'm going to show you the goals that he scored, in League One this season, and some of the goals, that he scored in Scotland playing League One football. I think it's for Clemenark and something like that, Rovers. But I'm going to give you some of those goals, and it doesn't matter what league you played in. Just look on how he took his moment, during the time in Scotland and his time after the season just ended. Look at how he can score goals, with his head. He can run behind. He's quick. He got a little bit of footwork with the ball at his with the ball at his feet as well. So he can give you every little thing. And he's not a big fella. He look as if he's like 5'9", 6 foot, no more than 6 foot. But he can spring for the ball as well. But what I got, from this player, that he's someone that willing to fight. He's someone that willing to come in and just start to just hit the farm. But there's another thing, looking at his clubs, looking, coming up through the Middlesbrough, academy of what I saw. I didn't know nothing about this player, but looking at it, this player seems like, coming up through the ranks against some lower tier teams, wasn't getting the opportunity. And what he did, he went a few levels down and went to Scotland in League One, got minutes, started to get first team minutes, and then what happened after? He started to get goals, then he started to get goals. And if you look at his last 2 clubs that he played for in Scotland, he's getting that goals. He scored over 30 plus goals, in his last 2 seasons in Scotland. So that show you that that's a player that, knowing that he wasn't getting the games, in England, he make a setback in his career and he's so hungry for success. He's so hungry to prove that he is the man and he have done his work in Scotland. Then he jumped back into England and signed for Burton and Albion this season that just ended. And then boom, from 24 goals in our competition, in Scotland last season, to 11 goals this season. So that shows you that he's a player, he start to blossom. He's a little bit of a late bloomer, bouncing around in a few clubs and loan and there, in the lower tier of English League football during his time in Middlesbrough and a couple more clubs there, but he went straight to Scotland and started to get more game, and then from there everything just started to blossom. Came back to England, League One, and then don't be surprised if he do this again and score more goals, he will be up in the league as well. So this is a good thing. But these are the goals that Burrell scored in Scotland. Yeah, these are some of the goals that he scored in Scotland.
Wide for McCann. Good delivery. It's in for Burrell, who wins it for Falkirk. In the dying seconds, Burrell.
And if you look at how, he's a finisher. He's someone that, love to finish, someone that, just love to get the ball in the box. He's someone that, look, as I said, he can head, he can run behind, he's a poacher. He's someone that you could see like he's a fit lad, he's a fit. When I even look at certain pictures of him, you look at his calves, it seems like he's a player that work out a lot, he's strong, not to hold off player. And I don't care what level he's playing, but the level, it doesn't really matter for me. It's on how you see a striker put the ball in the back of the net. That can tell you that he is a good striker. Look at his body position. Look at how he's trying to shield the defenders and put them behind him, so he can go ahead and finish the ball. He leap over defender. Again, it's not the most powerful striker in the air, not the most physical standing striker, but he can leap, he can jump, he can get a little bit nasty. So everything about him that a coach really want from a striker. And then look at some of these goals that he scored this season for Burton Albion. So I'm just saying, man, Boza, not in the squad. I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying he should make a statement or sign a petition saying Boza need to get back in it, but I mean, look, the Mexican League have come to an end. You have played in the Clausura League, the second phase of the Mexican League. The league will return back, to August, the Apertura, and then they go back to the Clausura. So I mean, I hope that Boza doesn't really tell the coach that, look, he needs to work on his fitness or something, but this is the type of game, no way than playing some competitive game that you hit back yourself in form. I'm still, back in the presence of Shaman Nichols who can get himself out of this wreck. He has proven it, and for a player that have proven that he can score goals. Not long ago, he has scored 5-6 goals for us in a calendar year. So he's someone that proven that he can score goals in the national team, and he's someone that has scored loads of goals. I think also he's someone that proved that he can score goals for us. So this guy will give Javan is, the Boza, the Mikel Antonio. This is why Mikel Antonio is eager to come back. Full of so much eager for come back, because he know that the longer he stayed on the touchline, the longer he stayed out of the national pool, he has some youngsters will come in, and he's not getting older. He know that he want to get to the World Cup, so you need time to get back into this team and prove to McLaren that he is the mainstay saving going forward. But I don't think so. He's not the mainstay. Younger bloods, younger energy, younger minds will come in and take his position. It's up to when Mikel Antonio get another chance, which I don't even know when or how or where you get that chance again. But I know you get a chance. But when that time comes, hope him can take that, because younger players are coming through. But I mean, the Sule Makala, man, it's still rubbing the wrong side of my shoulder that Sule Makala got added into the squad yesterday evening. I saw that news and was like, JFF trick me. I feel JFF, Steve McLaren and JFF and them friend them, but because them know the outrage that happened when Sule Makala had it in this squad in previous times when we set to play. I think it was a local squad and some of that in the St. Vincent game. He made a mistake. Not saying that he should be penalized for that mistake. Everybody made mistake. Everyone made mistake in their career, some are club or national team. But you can't tell me that the level of what Sule Makala is playing in the JPL and where Ravel is playing, is that you picking players who are playing at the highest level, or are you picking a player who have the highest quality that can bring values to the football team? So if you put to me a Ravel and a Sule Makala together, which one of the players have the more quality? We already have Kova that can play the CDM. We already have Isaac Hayden, someone that can play as a CDM as well. We don't need much players to play these couple of games. That's fine. We don't need Sule Makala again, another defensive-minded player. Which one will you guys choose? I know for sure you guys will definitely choose Ravel Martin. He's a more quality player. And what coach have said, the gaffer have said earlier about the level of where he's playing. Can I get any clips? Can I get any little information? But there's information that you can find. It's just that you have to search for it on Ravel Martin. But if you remove the level of where both players are playing, the Jamaican Premier League and the second division in UAE, which is the third tier football in that country, which player bring more values to the national team, Ravel Martin or Sule Makala? Which one will add an impact on the team? Which one will bring that balance to the midfield? We already have Isaac and Kovas can play in the mid that CDM role. We don't need a Sule Makala coach. We don't need Sule Makala. Be respectful, I have to be respectful to Sule Makala. Very, good lad, good, person, good player at the Jamaican Premier League level, legendary player in the Jamaican Premier League, won titles and all of that. But quite frank, we have so many younger players. Look, Cavaliers have some younger players that, you have Watson, you have Adrian Reed. Why pick such an old figure? Like, come on. There's no club or scout looking at him. If they name probably a younger player in the Jamaican Premier League, someone that a Romeo Godfrey, somebody, just give me somebody else who have a younger age. a Watsi would even do good, a Dwayne Allen for Cavaliers, somebody in that midfield. I don't know, man, but let's move on from that. So the man that who is trying to get in that good moment again, the good feeling factor, Demarai Gray. Yeah, I was watching that game yesterday versus Al Hilal, Ivan Toney team. They went at it first. Ivan Toney got a penalty, but Demarai Gray team won 3-1. And I'm telling you, that coach, Al Shireri, is working magic after the sacking of Steven Gerrard. This team, since Steven Gerrard got sacked, and the former Saudi Arabia U23 coach coaching Al Ettifaq team, since then until now, he's fourth in the table of winning the most points since the Stevie Gerrard sacking. That for sure that this coach is doing something wrong, but not doing something wrong. It's like he inject something different in Demarai Gray. The team is playing more together. The team seems like they're playing like a army team. Everyone is together. No men left behind. Demarai Gray is even running back, tracking back. Demarai Gray sprinting forward. You could see he was doing everything on that football field. And oh my God, he have done everything to get a goal, but the goal just didn't arrive.
حط الكرة على اليسار، الكرة ترجع ديماري جراي، يتقدم فينالدوم، ديماري جراي تسديد. شوف المحاولة الماضية، شوف يا لها من تسديدة قوية للغاية، اهتزت العارضة مع كرة ديماري جراي، والكرة بالتالي عدت الآن سليمة على إدوارد مندي.
And you could say, look, just keep trying, continue to do what you're doing, and he's hitting these, this type of form at the right moment when we are going into crucial summer where the World Cup qualifiers and the Gold Cup. Remember, a few years ago, the Gold Cup, this is when Demarai Gray hit some form for the national team. This was a moment he had it, and this was a time when, in 2023, somewhere right there, he had it to the national team pool, and he started to play out of his skin. He was the best player on that football pitch. Can he do a repeat? And I'm just saying, just enjoy these little clips of Demarai Gray.
الفرق التي كذلك ضمنت المشاركة على مستوى دوري أبطال آسيا، الاتحاد، الهلال والنادي الأهلي. كرة مستمرة ميتران، اتفاقية، يا سلام يا ديماري جراي، عدى جميلة، حول كرته، حلوة، تسديدة قوية، حلوة 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 حلوة. هذا هو الشكل، هذه الطريقة التي تحدثت عنها يا سعد الشيري. شوف الآن الاتفاق، متعة الكوماندوز في آخر لحظة. هل لمس الكرة ديميرال يبدو لي، حولها أمامية على اليسار، الكرة تصل راضي العتيبي، جميلة، اتفاقية بالراس، والأيمن إيفان توني بالقوة البدنية يكسب الكرة لكنها تعود للاتفاق، جميلة إلى ديماري جراي، يحاول يسدد كرة، والكرة إلى خارج أرضية الملعب. مندي يتصدى أو لا، كان هذا عبد الله رديف في الكرة الماضية. شوف المحاولة الماضية، لا والله ديماري جراي، الكرة الماضية كانت من ديماري جراي بالفعل بعد تسديدة قوية جاءت من الجامايكي عدوان عبيد.
So people, sometimes you see a player going through some tribulation, like he's not getting the goals, he's not getting the assists, but he's doing everything. And you could see he was so attacking, he was so high for goal that he wanted to get the ball in the back of the net. That one that even struck the bar, Mendy could not even move, but he was bringing a lot of more aggression to his gameplay. He wanted to get on the end of something, he wanted to get into the attacking area. He's getting himself in the dangerous position here, and for him doing that, the goal will come soon. So hopefully it starts for the national team in BVI and then at home versus Guatemala, and they will go straight into the Gold Cup again. Guatemala Guadeloupe and square off with Panama at the last game of the World Cup qualifier. And then hopefully it transitioned into the last phase of the World Cup qualifier. But Demarai Gray is hitting that little farm where he's not getting the goals, but it's going to come. So let me know what you guys think about the newly look of Demarai Gray under this new coach. He looks stink. He was horrible. You know, he was dreadful under Stevie Gerrard in the last year or so under Stevie Gerrard, but now he's looking more of himself. That Demarai Gray that we used to, that came through Birmingham, come at Leicester City, show that, you know, the right attitude. You know, his application was really good. You know, his resume was impressive. He was doing everything. He was that player, that cliche player, that everything he do for Leicester City, coming off the bench, be that impactful player. That's the Demarai Gray I saw yesterday. And guess what? Hopefully it continues. Hopefully it is the trend of the new Demarai Gray, knowing that his national team will be rooting for him, will need that type of attitude, tracking back, getting forward, you know, get your foot stuck in, you know, getting challenged, you know, getting players in players' face. Yeah, that attitude again of smiling, and he look like he's enjoying his football. He look like he's losing a little bit of weight as well. He look more fitter, he look more agile. Everything is working for Demarai Gray. So hopefully this is a new Demarai Gray moving forward until the end of the year. You understand? So people, if you enjoyed the video, remember, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. You know, I really appreciate you guys.